there's the van. The ongoing project. And there's my truck. And if you look, you'll see that my truck is full of junk. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Some of my old telescopes, fax machine, another fax machine, hangers, ceiling fan. All this junk got put in the van. And I gotta go through it. But I went ahead and cleaned out around the van, got all the junk out of there. Pieces of wood. This came from the shelving that was in the van. I was going to use it, but now I realize it's not treated wood. So it'll probably be turned into mulch or maybe some kind of firewood if I ever have a barbecue. So there's the old stereo. There's just a lot of junk. Lantern, fluorescent. So I got to go through this. I've already filled 2 garbage cans, and that's just part of the process. You know, when you have a bunch of junk stuck somewhere, it's basically a catch-all. You go through it, whatever is scrapped goes in the scrap pile. There's some old appliance parts or whatever. Now again, I have a truck. Why do I need a van? The reason I need a van is simple. My truck needs service, and I have this van just sitting here. This van was actually something I got from my dad to replace his old 1969 Econoline van. It's a lot cleaner now than it was, and I got rid of the mildew smell. You'll probably notice that I've been sniffling a little bit. This van was so full of junk, and water was leaking in. There was mildew and mold growing everywhere. There was even mold growing on the plastic surfaces. So I've had to clean those out using my favorite cleaning solution. And you can see that even some of the mold and mildew is embedded in this plastic armrest. So I'm going to have to give that additional attention. Now, I'm not really that sensitive to mold and mildew, but breathing that stuff in cannot be healthy. So, little by little, it's improving. It smells not bad. It was terrible, but it's a lot better. Now, there is some rust on the floor where the water leaked in, but it really wasn't that bad. I was able to clean it up with basically oven cleaner, soap and water. I'll be using some Ospo. I even cleaned up the doors, the surfaces. I got rid of the greasy stains from where the possum was coming in the back, where the tag is. I even found the old tag light that had broken off. Somehow, I don't know, it was there. But I opened up the one little window that opens, let some air in. But the next thing is going to be to get this thing to run. And there was a problem with the engine stalling. There was also issues with some electrical problems. There is a drain on the battery, which I think may be the alternator, because when I touch the alternator, even after it's been sitting for a while, it feels warm. So the internal voltage regulator may have failed. So that's something I need to take out. Also notice that the windshield has rusted thoroughly. So I'm going to have to get another junk van maybe to cut the part out. I did a temporary repair with some roofing paper to stop the leak, and that actually worked. There's also a bit of rust on top of the roof. As you can see, this is all going to have to be cleaned. There may even be some rust holes hidden in there, so this is going to be a grinder, an Ospo job, epoxy primer, and then some paint. So a lot of it's going to depend on finding a junk van. Now, I don't really need that to be able to drive this, so my first step is to get the engine running reliably, and then go ahead and get the transmission out. Now, as I mentioned before, the engine is a Power Stroke diesel. It's kind of hard to see. but there it is. Good old Power Stroke turbo diesel. There's turbo. So, and it was running before it was parked. I even had the air conditioning working. Now, this is a dual air conditioning system. So you have one evaporator up front, and there's another one in the side of the van, which then has a hose that goes up to these vents. And I am going to fix all of it. Because to me, living in South Florida, the most important feature on any vehicle is air conditioning. Even my old junky truck has ice cold air conditioning, which I fixed myself. And I had to replace the evaporator, had to replace a couple of hoses, and I had to rebuild the compressor because it had a seal leak, which I actually made a video of, and I don't even know if it's still online or got uploaded or what. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the plans for the van, and I also wanted to let you know that one of the reasons it sat so long is because this was something I got from my dad, which was the last thing that I've really done for him before he started to get really sick and died. And he had actually worked on the van and was going to make it into his new van to replace the old one. But I've taken out the rack and all the other stuff. I didn't want to mess with it, but I'm sure that my dad would be happy to see the plans I have for this van. This van is actually the key to me being able to move. Because my poor old truck, although it does run, is extremely unreliable. The engine, it just smokes so much. It takes a gallon of motor oil every couple weeks just to be able to drive the thing. So I have to buy this oil in gallons. The transmission, thankfully, I rebuilt, and it works really, really well. But I don't want to junk the truck. So what I'm going to do, once I get the van reliable, I'm going to go ahead and take the engine out of this. And I'm going to see what the ticking is, if it's bent push rods or maybe bad lifters, see if there's any cracks in the heads, see if there's anything fundamentally wrong, maybe the crankshaft, the bearings, whatever. I'm going to try to get this old 7.3 running as smooth as possible. And if I can't, I'm going to try to find another one. I may be able to get my hands on a spare engine, and that may be the other option, build the engine first and then stick it in the truck, because from the transmission back, everything in this truck works really, really well. So, and hopefully this little bit of sniffles that I got from this disgusting mildew infested van is going to go away. I'm already, well, this is a lot better. I couldn't even drive it before. But anyway, hopefully within the next few days I'll be able to get this thing started. And then I'm going to be removing the transmission. Now this transmission is also an E4OD, the same as my pickup truck. So I don't anticipate having any difficulty in rebuilding it. And I have a feeling that if I get this running in the next few days, I may be driving this van in a month. And that would be great, because I've had a valid tag on it and I've had insurance on it for almost a year now. And because I've been so busy with work, I haven't been able to mess with it. But now with the economy ready to, it's already circling the drain. My work is drying up. I have less and less to do. So I'm going to be productive, and I'm going to make this old van something new again. This is some wood that I had saved up to fix the roof of my house, and that's in here. Also, it's interesting, somebody had put in this little opening. I don't know what it was for, but this explains how the possum got in. Now, I didn't know a possum could get in a hole that small, but evidently it did, because I couldn't find any other holes in this van. So what I'll probably do is make a cover this up, maybe with some sheet metal, and then that way I won't have any more problems. But I don't anticipate using this for a junk pile anymore. But we'll see. And the best part about the van is that being newer and hopefully a little more reliable, I may be able to use this to go a longer distance. I may be actually able to visit somebody. It'll be kind of nice, because then I have all this room. If I want to take something, I can put it in here. I don't have to worry about it getting rained on. And I could probably even use this as a makeshift camper. You know, it wouldn't be that hard. if I was in a place where the climate wasn't as bad as it is here, you know, it's actually a good place to take a break. So we'll see. But I'm going to keep you informed as to what's going on. And hopefully, within the next few weeks, progress will be coming. Thanks for watching. Click like if you like my videos.